On Thursday night, September 8th, the road to Super Bowl 57 officially begins with a matchup that could be Super Bowl 57. Welcome to our annual NFL schedule release special. Hello, friends, and welcome to this very special edition of TXN Sports World. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF, Michael Fletcher, and Michael Bullock. One of our biggest shows of the year, as tonight we are going to unveil, in our eyes anyways, the 2022 NFL schedule. It was released today. Big special on the NFL Network. And without any further ado, let's get it started. For those of you who are new to this, you know how we do it. We go week by week, look at the notable games, and go from there. So, and then from there, we will also have the Bruins beat with good old MF, Michael Fletcher, and Michael Bullock. So with that, gentlemen, here we go. Week 1 of the 2022 NFL season will start on Thursday night, September the 8th. I said it was going to start off with a matchup that could be Super Bowl 57, as it will be your Super Bowl champion, Los Angeles Rams, opening the defense of their Super Bowl championship against a team that many experts feel, could be there themselves. I know I do. My Buffalo Bills. Woo! Wow. The Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams jump-starting the NFL season at SoFi Stadium, September 8th. JA-17, Josh Allen, and that great offense going up against Matthew Stafford and his equally own great offense. Oh, man, MF, I can't wait for that one. You know that's going to be ours right there. Well, we got some more great action as we get into the Sunday portion. Of course, it'll be on September 11th, so you know there's going to be those special ceremonies to honor the anniversary of 9/11 beforehand. And the notable games to look for. How about the New Orleans Saints against the Atlanta Falcons? Atlanta Falcons beginning life after Matt Ryan. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of history there. Buddy Bowl, the New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The Washington Commanders will have their first game as the Commanders as they host the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know that's not really anything, but. And then in the late window, you have the New York Giants against the Tennessee Titans in what could be a sleeper matchup. How about the Kansas City Chiefs against the Arizona Cardinals? Chiefs beginning life after Tyreek Hill. Cardinals will, of course, be without DeAndre Hopkins, who was suspended for the first 6 games for PEDs. They ended last regular season. They start next regular season. Las Vegas Raiders, Los Angeles Chargers at SoFi. Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Second year in a row, these two teams will be meeting, only this time it will be in Dallas, Sunday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And then the season premiere on Monday Night Football, the beginning of the Joe Buck and Troy Aikman era. And they will have the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, returning to Seattle. Wow. That's going to be something. So those are my notable games for week number 1. Good old MF, Michael Fletcher, fresh off your Miami Dolphins schedule special that you did on your channel. Check it out on his channel, Brady3925, all you Dolphin fans out there, to get the Dolphins perspective from MF. But MF, What a jump start for us. Bills and Rams opening night. Let's go.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a heck of a game, and I think everybody's going to be excited with that one. That's going to be the first major matchup, no doubt about it. And then you got some very interesting sleeper matchups, of course, with the Browns and the Panthers, because these two teams were both after Deshaun Watson, and the Browns ended up getting him. So we'll see how that happens. The Niners and the Bears. Is it going to be life with Trey Lance instead of Jimmy Garoppolo? Could we see the battle of the two young guns between Jimmy Garoppolo and Justin Fields as the starting quarterbacks of their respective teams going into that one? Of course, you also got the one of the best rivalries in the NFL with the Steelers and the Bengals. You also have one basically. Then you also got, of course, Patriots, Dolphins. We already know the rivalry in that one. You talked about Kansas City and the Cardinals, the Raiders and the Chargers. Of course, an NFC North battle between Green Bay and Minnesota, and then of course two very good nightcap games: the Bucks and the Cowboys, and the Broncos versus the Seahawks. Like you said, Russell Wilson going back to Seattle right out of the chute, week one. Oh my goodness, man, what a matchup that could be. So, Michael Bullock, it's yours, man.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say is, I mean, I'm excited for this season. I mean, and like you said, with taking a look at some of the games that I'm interested in with Week One, obviously, of course, for you and me, Fletch, it's the Buddy Bowl, the Patriots and Dolphins. Of course, with it being 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you know it's going to be a hot one there in Miami, no doubt about it. And of course, we all know about the history. Well, the not so good history for the Patriots down there, but we'll wait and see how it all goes. Obviously, the game to officially kick off the season, the Bills against the defending Super Bowl champion LA Rams. That's going to be an intriguing matchup. Saints and the Falcons is, like you said, that's another one, as it's the first game, the post Matt Ryan era. And then, of course, you got the Packers and the Vikings. We all know the history of that rivalry. The Chiefs and the Cardinals, the first game without Tyreek Hill. Of course, the Sunday night matchup, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers going up against the Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. And then right off the bat, the first Monday night game in the Joe Buck, Troy Aikman era, and boy howdy, it's a doozy, as Russell Wilson returns to Seattle to battle the team that he led to a Super Bowl title, and of course another Super Bowl appearance, the Seattle Seahawks. I'll bet you that he's going to get a standing ovation from the Seattle fans that for what he meant to that team. So Florio, there's really nothing more to say except let's take a look at some of the intriguing matchups for week number 2.
And good old MF Michael Fletcher will start it off in week 2, starting it off with the beginning of a new era of Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime Video, Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. And what a first game they've got, MF.
Kansas City and the LA Chargers at Arrowhead. This announcement was made during the NFL draft. So this kind of starts the new era, like you said. But there's also some intriguing matchups as well. The Miami Dolphins going up against the Baltimore Ravens. Of course, last year, this was a Thursday night game in Miami. The Dolphins won that match. Do they do it again? Is it going to be 2 years in a row for them? Or does Baltimore continue their dominance over the Miami Dolphins? We'll see about that one. Then of course, a great divisional matchup in the Superdome as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers goes up against the New Orleans Saints. Then a classic AFC rivalry that, if you know these two teams, they do not like each other, But my God, what a matchup this will be. The Patriots and the Steelers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Then you got another divisional matchup, the Seahawks and the 49ers, an intriguing interconference battle. The AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals, goes up against the Dallas Cowboys. Then, of course, we also got another interconference battle that needs to be talked about when you got the Cardinals and the Raiders. And then the longest rivalry in NFL history gets reignited at the not-so-frozen tundra of Lambeau Field on Sunday Night Football. The Bears and the Packers, and not one, but two Monday Night Football games, one on ESPN, one on ABC. The first one, only the Tennessee Titans versus the Buffalo Bills. I think Anthony Florio, his eyes perked, and he was thinking, it's you. Well, here we go. And then the other one, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles at the Link. What a week that's going to be for week 2. Michael Bullock, what's your intriguing matchups? What are you looking at?
Yeah, taking a look at what I see. I mean, obviously, the first game in the new era of Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime with the Chargers and the Chiefs. And obviously, I mean, the Patriots going up against the Steelers. I mean, that's going to be, and of course, you have to think about it when it comes to these two. When these two always face each other, what do you always think when these two always face each other? You have to think of the quarterbacks that used to be part of that team. That's what made that rivalry so special. When you had Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, when it all started with the first meeting that they had back on Halloween night in 2004, and we all know what happened that night. And that was when the historic 21 game win streak of the Patriots came to an end, and they've had some pretty good battles ever since then. So. And this is going to be the first time they faced each other without any of those two under center. So it's a new era when it comes to these two franchises. Of course, the Dolphins and the Ravens is definitely another one. The Buccaneers against the Saints, obviously, with Jameis Winston coming back from his torn ACL against the team that he once was under center for. I mean, Seahawks and 49ers, I mean, that's another one because of the history that these two have always had, even though it's a little different for when it comes to Seattle's side. Cardinals and Raiders is another intriguing matchup for me. The Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. And of course, one of the greatest rivalries in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears in the, shall we say, not so frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. And then, of course, you got the two Monday Night Football doubleheaders with the Titans and the Bills, and the Vikings and the Eagles. So those are my intriguing matchups. So, Florio, it is yours.
Yes, sir. Right there with you guys. I mean, the Chargers and the Chiefs. Great way to start off the Amazon Prime Video era of Thursday Night Football with Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit from Arrowhead Stadium. I mean, we'll all never forget that instant classic at SoFi last year. Again, that MF and I had. Sleeper matchup, Miami Dolphins against the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, that's definitely worth a look. Absolutely. Like MF said, the Dolphins, with one of the big upsets of last season, beating the Ravens in Miami on a Thursday night last year. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints. Brady and the Bucs against Jameis Winston and the Saints in the Superdome. That could be a shootout there. New England Patriots, Pittsburgh Steelers may not be the same anymore. I mean, it may not be Brady and Roethlisberger. Of course, MF and I, we did a ton of those games back in the day, regular season and playoffs. And nowadays, it's going to be Mac Jones. We know it's Mac Jones for New England, but who will it be for Pittsburgh? Will it be Mitchell Trubisky or will it be Kenny Pickett? Because Kenny Pickett got drafted by the Steelers last week. So definitely got to keep an eye on that one. And then in the late window, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys, that is most certainly worth a look. That's definitely going to be one of our top games of that week. No question about that. Arizona Cardinals, Las Vegas Raiders. Nice little interconference matchup at Allegiant. On CBS, cross-flex matchup. Chicago Bears, Green Bay Packers, the oldest rivalry in NFL history. In Lambeau. And then from there, Monday Night Football, Tennessee Titans, Buffalo Bills at 7:15 on ESPN. And then at 8:30 on ABC, Minnesota and Philadelphia. But Tennessee and Buffalo, I have had a major gripe with the Tennessee Titans for so many years. From the Music City Miracle, or as I still call it to this day, the Music City Screwjob. And then when Tennessee holiday hammed Buffalo on a Tuesday night a couple years ago. And then last year when Buffalo was driving for that, was going for the win, and Josh Allen came up short. I mean, should have won that game, but that's another story. But this time it's in Buffalo, not in Nashville. So hopefully that home cooking will help us. And then Minnesota and Philly. So interesting matchups to say the very least for week number 2. No question about that. So with that, we move on now to week number 3. And Michael Bullock, we started off with you and another classic divisional rivalry to kick it off in week 3 on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that's another great rivalry. When it comes to these two, another intriguing matchup. Well, Fletch and Florio, it's a buddy bowl that you two should know very much about. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna have to get a referee shirt on and to hold you two back when these two go at each other. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. I mean, some other intriguing matchups for me. I mean, obviously the one that comes to my mind, it's the home opener for the Patriots going up against the Baltimore Ravens, and you know a lot of history between these two. I mean, especially during the playoffs. Obviously, that AFC Championship game, the first time they met for the AFC Championship during the 2011 season. And I'm sure, Florio, you know, when you think Ravens and Patriots in that 2011 AFC Championship game, what's the first thing you think of?
Billy Cundiff missing a chip shot field goal.
Wide left. And I'm telling you, I watched that game with my family, and I'm thinking, yeah, this game is going to overtime. And as soon as he hooked it left, I'm literally like, did that just really happen? I mean, a makeable field goal, and he misses that one. But the Ravens did get their payback the following year. And then, of course, that memorable 2014 divisional matchup, I mean, where the Patriots, not once, but twice, came back from 2 touchdown deficits and ended up winning that one 35-31. So, yeah, a lot of history with them, but and then of course another intriguing matchup: the Chiefs going up against the Colts. Patrick Mahomes against Matt Ryan. obviously in the late window, I mean, two very intriguing matchups here. The LA Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. That's going to be an offensive shootout. And of course, another offensive shootout, which will be the Bucks home opener. Of course, once again, it's Brady and Rodgers once again, and guys, we all know what happened the last time these two were in the same field, and that was in the 2020 NFC title game, and many people thought the Packers were going to win that one, but Tom Brady said, but Green Bay may be your home, but I have the playoff experience, and that's what happened. He led the Bucks to the Super Bowl and eventually winning it all. So, yeah, I mean, and of course, you have to think about, of course, on Monday night with another great divisional rivalry match with the Cowboys and the Giants. So, nothing more to say. Florio, it's yours.
Yes, sir. Pittsburgh and Cleveland starting it off on Amazon Prime Video, Thursday Night Football. We know the history there. Early window, Kansas City and Indianapolis. That's definitely high up on my list there. No question about that. MF, that's definitely one we should definitely consider. Of course, the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. This time on CBS, not on Fox. So I'm glad we're going to get that one back in Miami there. Of course, Tyreek Hill's had a lot of success against Buffalo, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Baltimore and New England on Fox. Wow, what a steal for Fox. That is a cross-flex steal right there. And they not only pulled one fast one on us, they pulled a second one on us. They also got the Las Vegas Raiders and the Tennessee Titans. That's another intriguing matchup, to say the very least. And of course, Baltimore and New England, like Bullock said, all that history. MF and I remember it all well. And then, of course, Philadelphia and Washington, we know that history. Rams and Cardinals in Arizona. Great divisional matchup there. Of course, America's Game of the Week, you know what that's going to be. The Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. No doubt about that. And then Russell Wilson and the Broncos hosting the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday night. Russell Wilson, you know the history, all the history he has with San Fran. And then on Monday Night Football, a vintage Joe Buck and Troy Aikman special, MF. The Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. We all know how much Buck and Aikman love those NFC East matchups. And go on.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yep. I was going to say Dallas and the Giants to close it out, only because that's a Buck and Aikman special, because, back in their Fox days, MF and I used to make a joke about, them calling so many NFC East games. And that was one they called many a times, regular season and playoffs. So those are my matchups for week number 3. So MF, week number 3, what stands out to you?
Yeah, no doubt. First off, I obviously you go all the way back to the top to the Steelers and the Browns, no doubt about that. Then you said it. KC and Indy, Buffalo and Miami, the Ravens and the Patriots. One intriguing one that you also got to keep your eye on, and I know it's an underground one, but there's a lot of people talking about the Jets and the Bengals. That could be upset alert. That could be an upset special if you play your cards right on that one. Raiders and Titans, no doubt about it. You got a good NFC East division matchup with the Commanders and the Eagles. Of course, Rams and Cards. Then, of course, Green Bay and Tampa, Niners and Broncos. And then, of course, you said it. We always been saying it. We'll say it again. The Buck Aikman special. The Cowboys and the Giants. I think not only is it on ESPN, but also simulcast on ABC. This is one of those simulcast games. So yeah, Buck Aikman goes back to their old stomping grounds where basically where they made their home in the NFC East, and the boys in the ESPN and the NFL reward them by giving them one of their classic matchups that they get to do yet one more time. So Anthony, week 4 is yours.
Week 4, I'll start it. Thursday Night Football. Sleeper matchup here. MF's Miami Dolphins against the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. Minnesota Vikings, New Orleans Saints. The first of the international games at the Tottenham Stadium. And let's not forget, last time Minnesota and Atlanta squared off, Alvin Kamara scored 6 touchdowns against Minnesota in the Superdome. But this time, we'll see what happens come jolly old England in the international games. Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. First time they'll be meeting since the divisional playoff in January of 2021. Buffalo won that one for 17-3 behind a pick 6 by Taron Johnson. I'll never forget that. I know MF's ears won't forget that because of how nuts I went on that pick 6. Renewal of a great rivalry, a great NFC Eastern divisional rivalry. Washington Commanders, Dallas Cowboys. There was a commercial that MF and I, loved back in the day for the NFL Blitz video game. And, there were rowdy Cowboy fans chanting Cowboys, Cowboys. And then this Washington robotic player came in and then took charge, and then they all went from chanting Cowboys to Redskins. Well, they're not Redskins anymore, they're Commanders, but you get the idea. Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts, AFC South matchup on Fox. Boy, Fox is really going cross-flex here. Unreal. Then nothing really else to speak of. Late window, the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers, Mac Jones, Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders, Allegiant Stadium. Russell Wilson and company for Denver. And MF, there's no question about it. I think we have our game for week number 4. A rematch of Super Bowl 55. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mahomes versus Brady. One more time. And then Monday Night Football to close it out. The Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium. So that's my story about week 4. MF, week 4. Mahomes and Brady. You want to go one more time?
Oh my goodness. The NFL gods has given us something very special right at the very beginning of the season. Oh my. First off, let's get the formalities out of the way. Of course, Dolphins and Bengals. We need to get into that one. Like you said, Vikings and Saints is also another one. The Bills and the Ravens. Of course, Commanders and Cowboys. Classic matchup. Tennessee and Indy is a great matchup. Then, of course, look at these final games. Look at these final matchups that we're looking at. Patriots and Packers, Broncos and Raiders, KC and Tampa, the rematch of Super Bowl, I believe it's Super Bowl 55. And then, of course, Monday night, the Rams and the 49ers, which I don't believe this is the Stadio Azteca. I think this is going to be held at no. That's not the game. I stand corrected. I'm sorry. But yeah, so without a doubt, unbelievable week. Yeah, Anthony, if the records hold, if we can get it, Chiefs and Bucks could very well be the game on the Sunday night. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, looking at all these week 4 matchups, obviously, I mean, the Dolphins and Bengals is an intriguing one. I mean, the Vikings and the Saints as well. Yeah, and the Titans and the Colts is another intriguing matchup when it comes to the early window of games. I mean, and obviously the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens is another intriguing one. And then when you go to the late window, the Broncos and the Raiders, we all know the history when it comes to those teams. The Patriots and the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. Of course, the last time they met was in 2018 at Gillette Stadium. The Patriots were all over them, but the last time they played in Lambeau Field, it was a memorable game. It was the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and what a game that was. And, of course, Sunday night, it's the rematch of Super Bowl 55. The Chiefs and the Buccaneers, Brady and Mahomes facing each other one more time. And then, of course, the Rams and the 49ers on Monday Night Football to wrap up week number 4. So that's all I can say. So let's move on to week number 5.
All right, week number 5. And good old MF Michael Fletcher, you'll be your front and center to start it off. And a very another intriguing Thursday night matchup on Prime Video.
Yeah, it seems like this time around the NFL really wanted it to emphasize to the Prime Video audience and to give them better matchups. And you know what? You get one right here when you got the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos starting it off. Then of course you have an old matchup. This one's actually another one of those London games. The New York Football Giants goes up against the Green Bay Packers. But then we got a really good one stateside, an old rivalry in the AFC. The Pittsburgh Steelers goes up against the Buffalo Bills. You got the Chargers versus the Browns. That one looks pretty compelling. Then once you get here on the other early window, there's really not much that really stands out here. Maybe Bears and Vikings just for the hay of it. Obviously, Dolphins versus Jets at MetLife. You never know how that turns out. AFC Eastern Division rivalry. Another divisional matchup when you got the Falcons and the Buccaneers. But really, what really makes this ride home is the late window. The 405 onward, you got some really good matchups here. You got the Eagles and the Cardinals. Who knows? That could be an NFC playoff matchup. You never know. Of course, the Cowboys and the Rams going at it. Sunday night, very good divisional matchup. As we have is the Ravens goes up against the Bengals at M&T Stadium in Baltimore. And then Monday Night Football, Buck Aikman gets a doozy of a one. The Raiders versus the Chiefs at Arrowhead. My goodness. You know, early window, not so great. There's some okay matchups. But Michael Bullock, once you get to the late window, the 405 and onward, there's some real meat there. There's some meat to that bone in there that we could sink our teeth into for week 5.
Oh yeah, week 5. I mean, like you said, the early window really not. Not really all that impressive. I mean, there are some good. There are some good ones when it comes to. Obviously, Chargers and Browns, that could be an intriguing one, depending on how both of the teams look. But I'm telling you right now, like you said, once you get to the late window, there's a lot of good ones here. Obviously, the Bengals and the Ravens on Sunday night. of course, in the late window, the Cowboys and the Rams. I mean, that's definitely going to be an offensive game there. I mean, Eagles and Cardinals. I mean, I definitely, I could definitely see it being a very good one, especially since the Eagles got AJ Brown. So, and obviously Monday night, we know everything about the Raiders and the Chiefs. So, Buck and Aikman, yeah, you're gonna know a lot about this rivalry. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say, Florio. I mean, the early games. I mean, there are some good ones, but the late ones are a little more intriguing.
Yeah, right there with you, Bullock. Absolutely. Indianapolis and Denver, MF. That's another game we need to consider. Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Hey, I got hard feelings about that one because you remember they met week 1 last year and Pittsburgh stole it, and I was not happy about that whatsoever. LA Chargers and the Cleveland Browns. That's a sleeper matchup right there. Maybe Chicago and Minnesota. Tennessee and Washington. That could be an interesting matchup right there. I think that's worth a look. Philly and Arizona. We'll see about that. That's a classic divisional rivalry. That's a renewal of an old rivalry. They both used to be in the old NFC East back in the day. America's game of the week, we all know it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams from SoFi. That's going to be, like Bullock said, a shootout. Cincinnati and Baltimore. Good North Division matchup there. That could be our game right there, That's another one to look at, as well as the Las Vegas Raiders and the Kansas City Chiefs on Columbus Day night. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. So those are my standouts for week number 5. Let's go now to week number 6, and Michael Bullock, we started off with you. Thursday night, not really to speak of this time around, but unless you want to. But week number 6, what stands out to you?
Yeah, the Thursday night, not really that intriguing when it comes to this. And but man, I mean, the Patriots and Browns. I mean, that could be a good one there. And of course, Florio. I mean, when you think Patriots and Browns, I mean, of course, the last time they met was in 2019. What is the one thing you think of when it comes to that game?
It fell right into the hands of Lawrence Guy.
Oh man, that was, to me, that, I don't know about you guys, but that was worthy of a. Well, of course, there's a segment on Monday Night Countdown called "Come On, Man."
It's also worthy of a Morocco Mole. Also worthy of a Morocco Mole. Whoopsie.
Yeah, that and a "Come On, Man" there. I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, I've seen terrible plays before, but that was probably one of the worst I've ever seen, and that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to that. I mean, obviously, I mean, another one. I mean, obviously, I mean, Bengals and Saints could be something there. The Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins. And oh boy, Florio, late window. You have this game marked down in your mind when it comes to this one. The rematch of the greatest divisional match ever. The Bills, the Chiefs. And if I know you, Florio, the Bills, they want blood and they want it badly after what happened.
You better believe it.
Or should I say revenge? So that to me is gonna be the game of the week as far as I'm concerned. I mean, after what we saw in that divisional round, all the hype is gonna be built around that one. Cowboys and Eagles, that's gonna be an intriguing one Sunday night, and the Broncos and the Chargers to wrap up week number 6. But Florio, as I hand it to you, all the other games, I mean, I mean, are intriguing, but the one I know you got circled, Bills Chiefs. Enough said.
Whew, you better believe it. From my perspective, week number 6, the New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns, obviously. That could be a sleeper game right there. Minnesota Vikings, Miami Dolphins. That's a Super Bowl rematch from yesteryear. Super Bowl 8, I believe. Cincinnati Bengals, New Orleans Saints. That's worth a look. How about a rematch of Super Bowl 35? The Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants at MetLife. Another intriguing matchup, another sleeper matchup. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, the big one. The rematch of the greatest playoff game in any round. Wild card, divisional, conference championship, Super Bowl, whatever. The Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, Arrowhead Stadium. And then from there, Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, Sunday Night Football. And then the Denver Broncos, Russell Wilson going up against Justin Herbert and the Chargers at SoFi. That's week 6 for me in a nutshell. MF, I know that's right around baseball playoff time, but you know what? Screw the damn baseball playoffs. I want that game.
Quite frankly, I was not surprised that you were going to call for that matchup. I'm not surprised you were going to want that one. I get it. I know. There's really nothing more to add on that one. We'll see. We'll see how we go. We'll see if we, hopefully the baseball gods will let us get that one in. We'll see. No guarantees because we don't know how that plays out. Obviously, we start out with the Patriots and the Browns on that one, and then of course we got the Vikings and the Dolphins, the Bengals and the Saints. Of course, Anthony, you alluded to the Super Bowl 35 rematch, which was the Ravens and the Giants. Even though I think the Ravens should win that game pretty handily. Tampa and the Steelers is one good matchup. One other matchup, a divisional matchup, I believe, which is the Cardinals and the Seahawks. And then, of course, the final 3 are going to be the reason why we want this weekend. The final 3 games are the best 3 games of the weekend. The Bills and the Chiefs, the Cowboys and the Eagles, and the Broncos and the Chargers. All 3 matchups should be lit. That's going to be exciting. Really nothing more to add. So, Florio, we're on to week 7.
Man, that Bills Chiefs game. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, you and I will never forget that for as long as we live.
I know it was by far one of the greatest experiences that we both had as a broadcasting tandem. There hasn't been that many. We've had quite a few exciting games in our career, but that one probably goes down as one of the greatest of all time. Like it was amazing how that game played.
I'm sure your ears have recovered from all those screaming Anthony Florio moments during that game.
I've survived. It's been long enough. I'll say that.
Yeah, you've heard of screaming Michael Fletcher. Well, that night it was screaming Anthony Florio. That's all I know. I mean, yes, I was a little hoarse. I was hoarse after that game, but nonetheless, let's and who knows? Maybe I will be again. You don't know. We'll see. All right, week number 7. Sleeper matchup here on Thursday Night Football, Prime Video. New Orleans Saints against the Arizona Cardinals. From the home of Super Bowl 57, State Farm Stadium, formerly the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. The last 2 games of the early window, the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans from Nissan Stadium, the home of this year's SummerSlam in about 2.5 months. Colts and Titans, great AFC South matchup. You know it's going to come down to those 2 teams for that division. Sleeper matchup, Green Bay Packers against the Washington Commanders. The late window doesn't really look all that appetizing, to be honest with you. A lot of meh matchups, except for one. The rematch of Super Bowl 54, the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. Levi's Stadium in San Francisco. on Fox. That'll probably be their game of the week, America's game of the week. Sunday Night Football. I know MF wants one. I know MF. I saw your Dolphin video earlier, and I know you addressed this one, of course. Classic old school AFC rivalry. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. Steelers, life without Ben Roethlisberger, obviously. Of course, the Dolphins getting Tyreek Hill this offseason. A Sunday Night Football primetime game for the Miami Dolphins in Miami. I know that's got to be a thrill for you, MF. And then Monday Night Football, a rematch of Super Bowl 20. The Chicago Bears and the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. A little buddy bowl there. Matt Ward and the Bears against Bullock and his Patriots. So those are the matchups for the intriguing games for me for week number 7. So MF, not the most intriguing of weeks for our side, but I mean, you got KC and San Fran, a Super Bowl 54 rematch, and then of course your Dolphins getting a rare primetime Sunday night game. That's got to be a big thrill for you.
Yeah, and it's against an old AFC rival. I think if you guys know in my video, we did talk about it. You know, there was always a debate in the 1970s. Who was the team of the 70s? Was it the Pittsburgh Steelers? Was it the Miami Dolphins? That's a debate that's been raging on for years and years and years and years. As many of you guys know, the Saints. We start out with a pretty decent matchup. Saints and Cardinals. You never know how that plays out. Cleveland and Baltimore might be an interesting matchup. Like you said, there's not many. Titans and Colts always will be an exciting one. Sleeper matchup between the Broncos and the Jets. That's just a sleeper one. Also another sleeper could be Seattle and the Chargers. And like you said, Super Bowl 54 rematch. Chiefs and 49ers in Santa Clara. Miami and Pittsburgh. And of course, the Bears and the Patriots. So, yeah, nothing more to add. Michael Bullock, I believe it goes to you now.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, intriguing matchups here, obviously. Saints and Cardinals is definitely one. I mean, as far as to kick off the Thursday night portion of of week 7, Browns and Ravens is another intriguing game here. I mean, Colts and Titans is another one. And of course, I mean, in the late window, I mean, obviously the Chiefs and the 49ers and the Steelers and the Dolphins. I mean, yeah, I mean, like you said, not really a lot of intriguing matchups, but there were some, like I just mentioned. So with that being said, Florio, on to week number 8.
All right, and good old MF Michael Fletcher, you started off, and how about this Thursday night matchup? Lamar Jackson versus Tom Brady. How does that sound?
No, that sounds like a very good matchup, no doubt about it. That could be a very exciting game. And then we have another international game, this time at the Cathedral of Soccer, Wembley Stadium in London. The Denver Broncos versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And note two things. 1, the start time, 9:30 in the morning. 2, the game is on ESPN Plus. That's right. Not traditional ESPN, ESPN Plus. That is where you'll get to see that game, the Broncos and the Jaguars on ESPN Plus. So just note that, guys. If you're gonna watch it, if you're looking, don't go to ESPN, don't go to ABC. You gotta be logged in to ESPN Plus in order to watch this game. It will not be anywhere else on that day. So, with that said, then you got yourself a good matchup. There's not really many good matchups here on the early window. You got the Cardinals and the Vikings could be one. The Raiders and the Saints are also one. An AFC divisional matchup. Eastern divisional matchup, the Patriots and the Jets at MetLife. That game's always wild. Then we got a good interconference matchup where you got the AFC Steelers versus the NFC Eagles, a battle of Pennsylvania on that one. But the late window got us some very good matchups. Start out with the Commanders and the Colts, the Niners and the Rams, and we already know how great that was last year, the playoff game, how incredible that one. Sunday night football on NBC. The Green Bay Packers going to Buffalo to play the Bills. That's going to be a good one. And then the Monday nighter, it's the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. They go over to the Dog Pound in Cleveland to take on Deshaun Watson and the Browns. So we got some decent matchups here. Not a lot of exciting ones, but Michael Bullock, the one that sticks out, of course, the international series continues. The third game in England, this time at Wembley, 9:30 on ESPN Plus, but it does get back ended with some very good matchups, a good Sunday nighter and a really good entertaining Monday nighter, to say the very least. And it gets started off with the Rams and the Bucks. It's yours.
You mean the Ravens and the Bucks?
Ravens and the Bucks. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be an intriguing matchup to kick off week number 8. I mean Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady. I mean that'll definitely be a good one there. And like you said, the Broncos and the Jags going to be playing in England on ESPN Plus only. So you're going to have to subscribe to ESPN Plus to get this one. Cardinals and Vikings is another intriguing matchup here for me. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of good ones in the early window, but then, I mean, the late window is that's when it gets real interesting. Of course, a rematch of the NFC Championship game, the 49ers and the Rams. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers against Josh Allen and the Bills on Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football, it's the Battle of Ohio, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. So, Florio, it is yours.
Yep, week number 8. Baltimore and Tampa on the Thursday night. That's definitely worth a look. Of course, right around this time will probably be right around World Series time at that point. So that's definitely going to be near the top of our list. And then from there, I mean, Arizona and Minnesota, that's a sleeper matchup for me. Vegas and New Orleans, that could be a good game right there in the Superdome. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I mean, that's an interesting cross-state matchup there. Late window, Washington and Indy, sleeper matchup there. San Fran and the Rams, rematch of the NFC Championship game, of course. And, of course, week 18 of last year, they had an epic game an equally epic game there. Sunday Night Football, Green Bay Packers, Buffalo Bills. Whew. We very easily could invoke our cross-flex card on that one. Aaron Rodgers against Josh Allen. Oof. That could be fun. And then the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns on Halloween. Trick or treat. Well, we'll see how the records hold up when we get to that, if it's a trick or a treat or not. So that's week number 8 in a nutshell. Now let's go to week number 9. And Michael Bullock, to start it off with you. Thursday night, not really intriguing, but let's go to the rest of week number 9 to see what stands out to you.
Yeah, of course in the early window, the one that intrigues me, the Colts and the Patriots. Matt Ryan against Mac Jones. Yeah, I mean another divisional rivalry with the Bills and the Jets. That's always good when these two get together. Yeah, not a lot of good ones in the early window, but man, I mean the late window really stands out to me. Well, the only the only one that really stands out for me in the late window, obviously, it's the LA Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in what was another crazy divisional matchup. I mean, we all thought the Rams had this one well in control, but Tom Brady brought his team back to tie it up, but then they drove it late and basically the Rams won it. And what many people thought at the time was Tom Brady's last game, but nope, Tom Brady gets another chance at revenge again on the LA Rams. And of course, Sunday Night Football, the Tennessee Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs, and Ravens and Saints for Monday night. That could be a good one there. So there's really nothing more to say. So, Florio, it is yours.
Yeah. Just keeping an eye on something here. All right. Week number 9. Yeah, the early window not true and not really all that intriguing, to be honest with you. With the exception of Indianapolis and New England, we know the history of that. And I would even give Minnesota and Washington maybe a look at that. Late window, of course. On CBS, a good cross flex for us here. We get a good cross flex here. The Los Angeles Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, rematch of that, of another amazing divisional playoff game. Rams jumped out to a huge lead, and then Tampa Bay came all the way back to tie it, but then Stafford with a bomb to Cooper Kupp and then set up the winner. So, and then, of course, the Tennessee Titans against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead on Sunday night. That's another one that MF and I could end up having. And then how about Monday Night Football? The Baltimore Ravens against the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. So those are really the matchups of week number 9. And MF, I mean, Colts and Patriots. Oh, boy, we used to have a lot of fun with those back in the day. Manning and Brady. But, of course, L.A. and Tampa, Tennessee and KC, Baltimore and L.A., all definitely, I mean, Baltimore and New Orleans, rather, definitely all worth looking for. So with that, MF, week number 9, what stands out to you, MF, for week number 9? Oh, wait a moment. All right. Yep. Okay. That was the private chat. All right. I don't know if MF stepped away for a moment. Just waiting on him so we can get his thoughts on week number 9, and we'll go from there. So, but I'll tell you what. I mean, while we wait for MF, I mean, Colts and Patriots. I mean, that was a great rivalry back in the day. I mean, Manning and Brady, so much history, and MF and I had so much fun with those games back in that era. I mean, Rams and Bucks. I mean, that could be our game. Then again, Tennessee and Kansas City. I mean, you remember a couple years ago they met in the AFC Championship game. Kansas City won that en route to Super Bowl 54. And then, of course, Baltimore and New Orleans. I mean, that's a sleeper matchup. Lamar Jackson, Jameis Winston in the Dome. So we will most certainly have keep an eye on that one. So yep, as MF alluded to in our chat, some exciting Stanley Cup playoff action. All right, MF is in. So all right, MF, week number 9. What stands out to you?
Yeah, like we said, not really that many good matchups here. That really sticks out at the very beginning. But like you said, Colts and Patriots is definitely one of them. Look, you could also make an argument for the Vikings and the Commanders, Seattle and the Cardinals. You never know, late window. But yeah, the final 3 really sticks out really well. Rams and Buccaneers, the Titans and the Chiefs, and then the Monday Nighter, which is the Ravens and the New Orleans Saints. So really nothing more to add here. So Anthony, let's just move on as we're now halfway through the 18-week schedule.
Indeed. In week number 10, let's jump it off. Yeah, we can bypass Thursday night. Another international series matchup, the Seattle Seahawks against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 9:30 a.m. on the NFL Network. And then on Fox, you got the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Buffalo Bills. That's a sleeper matchup, as is the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins in Miami on CBS. New Orleans Saints against the Pittsburgh Steelers could be an interesting one there. Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans. Russell Wilson leading Denver into Nashville against the Titans. Late window. Oh, we got a lot of good ones in the late window. Indianapolis Colts against the Las Vegas Raiders. A renewal of one of the greatest playoff rivalries of all time in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers, America's Game of the Week from Lambeau. It could start to get frozen around that time. Arizona Cardinals against the Los Angeles Rams from SoFi. Sunday Night Football, the Los Angeles Chargers and the San Francisco 49ers. And then Monday Night Football, another Buck Aikman special, the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. Another great NFC East matchup for Buck and Aikman. So that's all there is to say there. MF, week number 10. What says you?
Yeah, once you start getting into the matchups, like you said, the Thursday nighter, not really a good matchup. Sorry for those fans on Prime Video. You're probably not going to get a good one here. But I will say this. The Seahawks and the Buccaneers, guys, this is a historic game because this will be the first game played in Germany. That's right. They're going to Berlin. They're going to the home of, I believe, Bayern Munich, the Ascot Stadium, which is the home of Bayern Munich, one of the big soccer clubs in Germany. And they're going to that stadium for the first time ever. The NFL has done Germany before, but only in a preseason, never a regular season matchup. First time ever. So that's historic to say the very least. But then after that, there's not really that many good battles here. Maybe a sleeper matchup between the Vikings and the Bills. The Browns and the Dolphins could be a sleeper matchup. But then you got some really good ones a little bit down the line. Then you got the Saints and the Steelers could be a good one. Broncos and Titans, Colts and Raiders. That could be a playoff preview. You never know. And then, like you said, the late window with the Cowboys and the Packers, Cards and the Cardinals and the Rams. And maybe by that point, by that point, you'll have DeAndre Hopkins back. So, I mean, that could be a matchup. Chargers and Niners. And unfortunately, I'm not really too wild about the Monday Nighter. So once you get to Sunday night, my week is done. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, Thursday Nighter, not really that much into, but obviously the Seahawks and the Bucks, of course, they're going to be playing, like you said, in Germany. That should be interesting. And, of course, the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins is another good one. The Broncos and the Titans, maybe. The Vikings and the Bills is another sleeper matchup here. And, of course, in the late window, you got the Cardinals and the Rams. That should be a good one. Obviously, the Colts and the Raiders as well. The Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. The Sunday Nighter, obviously, with the Chargers and the 49ers. But, yeah, the Monday Nighter, I mean, yes, it's a divisional rival match, but it's not really all that intriguing as far as I'm concerned. So, Nothing more to say. Let's move on to week number 11.
All right, week 11, MF. Here's a good there. Oh, look at this Thursday night matchup to kick off week 11. That's definitely worth it. MF, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
All right. Look at this. Look at the Thursday night game to kick us off in week 11.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is going to be good. This is good. And the thing is, even the early window got some really good ones here. So yeah, Green Bay and Tennessee starts it off. Prime Video, after maybe a couple of weeks of some matchups, you get yourself a real doozy on that one. Then you go to the Browns and the Bills. You got the Eagles and then you get the Eagles and the Colts. That should be a good one. And also, you got the Rams and the Saints. So you got some really good ones in the early window. And then late window, you got some, you get the Broncos and the Raiders. You get that one. You get Kansas City and the Chargers round 2, this time at SoFi. Then you get the Cowboys and the Vikings. And Sunday night, a renewal of an old rivalry, one of the best rivalries. We can say it. The Bengals and the Steelers going at it one-on-one. And then Monday night, Buck and Aikman has a very special game on this one, guys. This is the one I was trying to allude to earlier in the day, but this one is the big one. The 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals from Estadio Azteca in Mexico City, Mexico, in that high altitude of Estadio Azteca. You got to deal with the high altitude, deal with the smog. That's going to be a good game, but it's the Niners and the Cardinals going at it. Yeah, what a matchup that's going to be. What a week 11 giving us. And that is going to lead us right. And that, I believe that's the final week before Turkey Day week. So it leads us right into Thanksgiving, and we're going to get into the Thanksgiving games in just a few minutes. But Michael Bullock, we got some good matches in week 11.
Oh yeah, we definitely got some good ones. Obviously, with the Thursday night matchup with the Tennessee Titans going into Green Bay to play the Green Bay Packers. Eagles and Colts. That should be an intriguing matchup. The Rams and the Saints. That's another one there. The Browns and the Bills. That should be another good one there. Of course, you got some divisional matchups in the late window, obviously with the Raiders and the Broncos, the Chiefs and the Chargers, the Cowboys and the Vikings in the late window, and of course, the Sunday night matchup. The Sunday night matchup, basically one of the great rivalries, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And let me just say, guys, there is a lot of bad blood when it comes to these two. And when I think of these two, I always think of that crazy wild card game during the 2015 season. Boy, howdy, that was pretty ugly when it comes to that. I mean, you had literally had almost like a lot of penalties and punches that were thrown, and referees throwing a lot of flags, and even that was pretty ugly. But in the end, and of course the final game, Monday Night Football, 49ers and Cardinals from Estadio Azteca in Mexico. So there's nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
I mean, Tennessee and Green Bay at what could be the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field at that point on Prime Video Thursday night. Great way to jump off week 11. Cleveland and Buffalo. A couple years ago, this was almost the AFC Championship game. Let's not forget these two teams almost met in the AFC Championship. Of course, Cleveland came up short against Kansas City. We all know that, and the rest was history. Philadelphia, Indianapolis. Definitely a sleeper matchup right there. Rams and Saints in the Superdome. Renewal of an old divisional rivalry there. A lot of history there. Great late window. Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. A cross-flex game for Fox. Of course, MF, you and I will never forget that Kansas City Chief LA Charger game at SoFi Stadium, week 15 of last year on a Thursday night, where Kansas City won it in overtime. I mean, you remember, go back. We had a show that night, and we did bonus commentary for that game, and go back and relive it. It was awesome. Who knows what they'll have in store. Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings, old school NFC playoff rivalry renewed there on CBS, Crossflex. Cincinnati Bengals, Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, the wild card game. Bullock, I mean, MF and I had it. I mean, Vontez, perfect. That's all you need to know. And then from there, Monday Night Football, San Francisco and Arizona in Mexico. I mean, that's going to be a sight. So that takes care of week number 11. And now we go to week number 12. And Michael Bullock, you get the honor. And
Turkey Day.
Turkey Day. And that first game alone is going to make Turkey Day I'm getting tongue tied here. That first Thanksgiving game alone is how we and all of us, and especially me, we are going to celebrate Turkey Day the ravishing way.
Hey, Florio, it's going to be Turkey Day, well, for you and me when it comes to our teams. So,
yes, sir.
Yes, but yeah, I mean, it all starts off with the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions to kick off Thanksgiving Day, and then of course the late window, of course, the Giants and the Cowboys. I mean, we all know about the history with those two, and now they're going to be meeting on Thanksgiving. And then, of course, to wrap up your Thanksgiving Day, it's going to be the Patriots and the Vikings to wrap up Thanksgiving Day. And then you get to the rest of the schedule. You got the Bengals going up against the Tennessee Titans. And who could ever forget that divisional matchup where Cincinnati went into Tennessee and upset the one-seeded Titans? So, and you know the Titans are going to have revenge on their minds for this one. Another interesting game in the early window on Sunday, the Buccaneers and the Browns. And then you get to the late window, obviously. I mean, Raiders and Seahawks when it comes to that. And then, of course, the Chargers and the Cardinals. Saints and the 49ers. I mean, that should be an intriguing matchup. And, of course, the LA Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that's going to be another intriguing one. Of course, when you think of these two teams, you have to think of that Monday night matchup in 2018. And that was like one of the highest scoring games in NFL history. I mean, I'll definitely never forget that. The Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday night. And then Steelers and Colts on Monday Night Football to wrap up week number 12. So, Florio, it is yours.
Michael Bullock and I, without a doubt, will be celebrating Turkey Day the ravishing way. No question about it, especially me. My Buffalo Bills, second year in a row, we're going to be on Thanksgiving Day, going up against the Detroit Lions at Ford Field on CBS at 12:30 to, as you're getting the dinner ready and all, getting the turkey and the trimmings and everything ready. I mean, oh man, I'm going to have so much fun. I mean, I had a lot of fun last Thanksgiving. I mean, when Josh Allen and company put on a show in the Superdome, I don't have any reason to, I don't see why not I don't see any reason why they can't do that again against Detroit. I mean, oh man, that's going to be so fun to watch. I can't wait. Fox, you got the New York Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. And then, of course, Bullock, gets to celebrate Turkey Day the ravishing way as his New England Patriots squaring off against the Minnesota Vikings at US Bank Stadium. That was almost Super Bowl 52, as you all know. But Philadelphia put the kibosh on that. Speaking of Super Bowls, I know it's not intriguing, but I only bring it up because it's a Super Bowl rematch. Super Bowl 50 rematch, Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cleveland Browns, sleeper matchup there. Of course, Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans from Nashville, Nissan Stadium. Rematch of that great divisional playoff weekend, and started off what was the greatest divisional playoff weekend we ever saw. Late window, you got the LA Chargers against the Arizona Cardinals. LA Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, America's Game of the Week. Matthew Stafford against Patrick Mahomes. That could be a shootout there. An old divisional rivalry renewed. Old NFC West division rivalry renewed. The New Orleans Saints and the San Francisco 49ers in Levi's. We know the history of those two. They had a wild and crazy divisional game many years ago. Green Bay Packers, Philadelphia Eagles, Sunday Night Football. And then close out Thanksgiving weekend, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis. That's another game MF and I could end up getting. You never know. So that's all there is to say on that. So that's week 12. So MF, Michael Bullock and I, we're going to be celebrating Turkey Day the ravishing way.
Yeah, you two are definitely going to be celebrating Turkey Day the ravishing way. And unfortunately for me, I'm sitting home eating the stupid drumstick and getting nothing out of it. Oh, well. At least we get to play on Sunday, and at least we get a very easy matchup for the Miami Dolphins because we are playing the Houston Texans. And last year, it was an ugly game, but the Dolphins won pretty handily last year over the Texans. So, yeah. And it's in Miami, so, yeah, I won't be celebrating Turkey Day. I'll be watching it begrudgingly, but I will enjoy this game. So, yeah, the three matchups are sticking out. The Super Bowl 50 rematch sticks out. Buccaneers and Browns is one of them. Of course, for all you Dolphin fans, we do got the Texans. That should be an easy game for us, but, you never know. Then you got the Bengals and the Titans is one. Cardinals and Chargers is one. Raiders and Seahawks, the underrated matchup. Keep a close eye on that one. That one might sneak a few people. Rams and then you got the Rams and the Chiefs. Obviously, America's Game of the Week. Saints and 49ers. That's always a compelling matchup. Sunday night, Eagles and Packers. That could be really fun. And Monday Night Football, I'm going to call this the Pat McAfee Bowl. Now, a lot of people know Pat McAfee was a legendary punter for the Indianapolis Colts. But did you know that Pat McAfee is originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? And when he won the punt, pass, and kick competition, he was representing the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's why I'm going to call this the Pat McAfee Bowl on Monday Night Football. So, yeah. So you got yourself the Steelers versus the Indianapolis Colts at Lucas Oil. So yeah, Anthony, it's yours.
Interesting backstory there. And now we move on to week number 13, and I'll be starting it off. And what a way to jump off week 13 on Thursday Night Football, a game MF and I could end up having. You don't know. It depends on how the records hold up. AFC East divisional rivalry, the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Amazon Prime Video. Denver Broncos against the Baltimore Ravens, Russell Wilson against Lamar Jackson. Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears 2 from Soldier Field in Chicago, oldest rivalry in NFL history, which is why we bring that up. Tennessee Titans, Philadelphia Eagles, cross-flex game for Fox as A.J. Brown will go against his former team. Late window, of course, you got MF's Dolphins against the San Francisco 49ers, but MF, Oh my goodness, we got 3 potential games of the week for us. Starts off with the rematch of the AFC Championship game, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals, Paul Brown Stadium, Cincinnati. Or could we do the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium? We all remember Week 18, that wild and crazy overtime shootout.
Back to the scene of the crime. If you're the Charger fans, the biggest injustice they felt, they were a few seconds away from possibly going to the playoffs, and then an inexplicable timeout called that helped the Raiders get the field goal to win the game and send the Pittsburgh Steelers into the postseason.
Absolutely. So, see, we lost Bullock for a moment. Hopefully he'll be back. I don't know what happened, but we'll see. And then KC Cincy, of course, that's great. I mean that logically could be the game because that is the AFC title game rematch. Chargers Raiders, that that unforgettable shootout in week number 18 last year. How about the Indianapolis Colts and the Dallas Cowboys? That could be a good one. That could end up being another game of the week for us on the Sunday night. And then to close it out, the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. So a lot of intriguing matchups for week number 13. MF, that late window alone, those 3 games, easily any of those 3 could end up being our game of the week for that week.
Or we could go all the way to the top on the Thursday night on Prime Video when you got the Patriots and the Bills.
That's right.
So you never know. I mean, that could be the matchup. You know, you do get a sleeper one with the Broncos and the Ravens. You never know with that one, especially for the AFC because we are exclusive to the AFC. Yes, and then the two that you talked about, the Chiefs and the Bengals and the Chargers and the Raiders definitely will stick out like a sore thumb. So it could be one of those 4 matchups that could be our game of the week. So no doubt about it. We're excited. It's going to be very interesting to see as we are now going to week 14.
Yep. And I can see I got a little frozen on that end. So MF, week number 14, we and I don't understand why it's not letting me in here, but
that's all right. I got it.
All right, week 14. What stands out?
Well, I mean, we got another good matchup on Thursday night with the Raiders and the Rams. That starts us out. Then you got a very good divisional matchup where we got the Browns and the Bengals. That could be an intriguing matchup. There's another divisional matchup, if you want to call it, the Eagles and the Giants. You never know how that plays out. That could be an interesting one. And then you got some really good ones. You got the the Ravens and the Steelers. You already know the rivalry of that one. That's always bad blood. That could be exciting. Then at SoFi, the battle of the 2 first-round quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa versus Justin Herbert. They played, I think, about a year ago. That year, Tua won the battle, won the war, having the Dolphins beat the Chargers. Does Justin get the victory back, or does Tua go 2-up on Justin Herbert in that matchup? Of course, and then we also got what I probably would say would be, I don't know who's got the double hitter week, but if we do got Fox's game of the week, the Buccaneers and the 49ers, and then Sunday Night Football, NBC, we got ourselves a good one, guys. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos from Mile High, and then Monday Night Football, another good matchup at I think it's now State Farm Stadium in Glendale, where it's the Arizona Cardinals versus the New England Patriots. So yeah, we got some good matchups here, Florio. So it's all yours.
Michael Bullock, come on back in. We lost you for a moment. We got to get your thoughts on week 13 and week number 14.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, but of course, week 13, yeah, Florio, it's a buddy bowl between you and me with our Buffalo Bills. I mean, your Buffalo Bills against my New England Patriots. I mean, obviously, we think about that wild card matchup, and good night for you, Florio. Not a good night for me.
Good night.
So
You mean a
we'll
great
see what happens.
Good night. You mean a great night.
Yeah, you yeah,
That
you
was the
don't have to
most
rub
fun.
it in, Florio.
That was the most fun I ever had watching a playoff game in my life. Just kidding, though.
Oh, whatever. So, but anyway, that's going to be the first intriguing matchup of that, and then of course you got the old rivalry with the Packers and the Bears. Yeah, Titans and Eagles. We'll see how that goes. And of course, the Broncos and the Ravens. You got the Dolphins and the 49ers, another good one. Chargers and the Raiders. Of course, an AFC Championship rematch with the Chiefs and the Bengals. You got the Colts and the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. And then the Saints and the Buccaneers for Monday night. And then when it comes to week number 14, Raiders and the Rams, that's to kick off week number 14 on Thursday night. That should be a good one there. The Ravens and the Steelers in the early window. Also with the Browns against the Bengals here. The Dolphins and the Chargers in the late window. The Buccaneers and the 49ers. And of course, the Chiefs against the Broncos is another intriguing one. And then, of course, the Patriots and the Cardinals on Monday night to wrap it up. So, Florio, it is yours.
All right, week 14. Another good week of action. Las Vegas Raiders, LA Rams, Thursday Night Football. Happy birthday, Bullock. That's your birthday. So it's a nice little birthday present for you. Then from there, the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. Another rivalry that MF and I had a lot of fun with, many years ago. Regular season and playoffs. Sleeper matchup, the Miami Dolphins against the LA Chargers at SoFi. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers on Fox, America's Game of the Week at Levi's. Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. Patrick Mahomes against Russell Wilson. And then a Monday Night Football matchup, the New England Patriots, Mac Jones and company against Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. That could end up being another one of our games of the week. You never know. It depends on how the records hold up. So that's week number 14 in a nutshell. So now we move on to week number 15. And Michael Bullock, we started off with you. Now there's a caveat here because we have five games on this week, on that week 15 schedule, not announced. And some of them are good matchups, but nonetheless, Bullock, week 15, another round of solid matchups.
Yeah, we got another round of solid matchups here. It started on Thursday night with the 49ers and the Seahawks here. Of course, the Dolphins and the Bills is another intriguing matchup here. Colts and Vikings, that should be a good one there. Of course, the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns is another intriguing matchup here. Of course, in the late window, the Cardinals and the Broncos. You also got the Titans going up against the Chargers, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sunday Night Football, the Patriots and the Raiders. And then, oh, this is going to be a dandy for Monday Night Football. The LA Rams and the Green Bay Packers. So, nothing more to say. Florio, it is yours.
Yes, sir. Not too many intriguing. I mean, Thursday I'm a little iffy on because of Seattle, but we'll see. Early window doesn't really have anything to speak of. I mean, a lot of meh matchups. The late window, you got the Arizona Cardinals against the Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson going up against Arizona, only as a Denver Bronco this time. Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles Chargers, SoFi. That's a potential game of the week for MF&I, as is the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Sunday Night Football, the New England Patriots and the Las Vegas Raiders. That's another one to keep an eye on. And Monday Night Football, Buck and Aikman. Oh, do they have a good one? That will be simulcast on both ESPN and ABC. The LA Rams and the Green Bay Packers from the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. And then from the games not yet scheduled, of course, Dolphins Bills 2, Ravens Browns 2, and the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Those are the standout games right there. So, interesting week. We definitely will keep an eye on those matchups once we get there. So that's that. So, MF, week 15, what says you?
Yeah, that was very interesting because even when I was doing the preview for the Dolphins, that was one of the games that I noticed that did not get scheduled. So we don't know where we're going to be positioned. That could be. I do know that I believe this is right around the same time where they do the Saturday games. So we might have a Saturday game. We could have a Sunday game. We don't know what it's going to be. Obviously, not Monday night, but we could be positioned in either Saturday or Sunday. So it's going to be very interesting to see. But without a doubt, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement on that. The Thursday night game, Niners and Seahawks is always a good matchup. And then once you get into the Sunday schedule, yeah, not that really much going unless you got Arizona and Denver. Then you got the Chargers and the Titans, Buccaneers and the Buccaneers and the Bengals, and the Patriots and the Raiders on Sunday night, and then Monday night the simulcast between the Packers and the Rams. That's going to be great. And like you said, the three games that kind of has not been that's TBD'd at the moment. Like you said, Anthony, I think that the three matchups that you just talked about, the Dolphins and the Bills, the Ravens and the Browns and the Colts and the Vikings. And there's also a sleeper one with the Falcons and the Saints. That's the sleeper one for me. But other than that, yeah. So nothing more to add. I believe, is it Bullock? Does Bullock have to take a turn, or did he already start it, Anthony?
I believe Bullock started it.
All right, so it's back to you then.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
I already started.
Yep. Bullock confirmed it. All right. Week 16 goes to me, and let's see what I have. Yeah, Thursday night we're not even gonna bother because that's a dud game if there ever was one. I feel bad for Alan Herbie, but whatever. Christmas Eve. Yeah, this will be Christmas Eve. Saturday games on Christmas Eve. A Buddy Bowl matchup. Me and my Buffalo Bills against Matt Ward and the Chicago Bears. New Orleans Saints against the Cleveland Browns. You got the Cincinnati, the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals against Bullock's Patriots. Burrow and Jones. And then you got Washington and San Francisco in a cross-flex game on CBS. And then you got Philadelphia and Dallas. And then in prime time, you got the Las Vegas Raiders against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Another 70s old school rivalry. And if you talk about the Steelers and the Dolphins in the 70s, this was another standout rivalry of the 70s. The then Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. all those legends and Hall of Famers that played in that rivalry in the 70s. But the Raiders and the Steelers to close it out on that Saturday night. And then a triple header on Christmas Day, an early game, a late game, and a primetime game. 1 o'clock, the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. 4:30 simulcast on CBS and Nickelodeon. The Denver Broncos against the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams at SoFi. And then to close it out on Christmas night, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. And then we close out Christmas week with the Los Angeles Chargers and the Indianapolis Colts on the Monday night at Lucas Oil Stadium. That could be a potential game of the week for MF and I. You don't know. So that's really all there is to say there. So MF, week 16, Christmas week, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day games. What stands out to you?
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I'll say this. Well, obviously Thursday night, forget it. We're not even talking about it. Then you got some good ones on Christmas Eve. You know, you got Seattle and Kansas City. You got New Orleans and Cleveland. That could be interesting matchups. The Bengals and the Patriots. Oh, I think Michael Bullock's going to be very interesting with that one. Then, Eagles and Cowboys, the Raiders and the Steelers, and that's on Christmas Eve. And then, you know what? Michael Bullock and Anthony Floyo, you guys were talking about how you were doing Christmas, you were doing Thanksgiving. Now you're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving the ravishing way. Well, good old Saint Nick, good old Santa Claus put a little stocking stuffer in my stocking, man. We're playing on Christmas Day, man. It's gonna be Merry Christmas for all my boys on South Beach, for all the Dolphin fans out there. We get to play on Christmas Day, but oh man, we're playing with that bad man and the American hero Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. That's going to be a heck of a matchup for Miami. Big test for the Dolphins, to say the very least. And then, of course, the second game, the Broncos and the Rams from SoFi. Yes, that could be Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, but what also could be is what we were talking about on the other side, because this is a simulcast. Noah Eagle and Nevaeh Green might be doing this game for Nickelodeon, and I do believe Nate Burleson will also do the game as well. So you'll get that really interesting look from the Nickelodeon side. They do a pretty good job with it. I'm not gonna knock them. They do a decent job talking about the game and the way that they do it for all the fans out there. They always do a good job with it. So nothing more to say. And then of course the Sunday nighters, the Buccaneers and the Cardinals. And Monday night is also a good matchup. The Chargers and the Indianapolis Colts from Lucas Oil. So Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, there definitely some good ones here. I mean, we're not going to bother with the Thursday night game, but yeah, Christmas Eve. I mean, there are some intriguing ones. Obviously, I mean, Saints and the Browns, and of course, yeah, the Bengals and the Patriots is the one I'm really going to be intrigued with. Obviously, and I mean, the Eagles and the Cowboys is another one. The Raiders and the Steelers on Christmas Eve night. And then, yeah, I mean, Christmas Day, you get the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. And then in the late window, you got the Broncos and the Rams on CBS and Nickelodeon. And then, of course, you got the Buccaneers and the Cardinals to wrap it up on Christmas Day night. And then, of course, the Chargers and the Colts to wrap up Week 16. So, nothing more to say. On to week number 17.
NMF, week 17, as we close out 2022 and get ready to ring in 2023. What a great way to close out the Thursday night portion of the schedule for Alan Herbie.
Oh wow, what a matchup! The Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans. Uh, get get your feet wet on that one. That's gonna be a good one. Then we got some rivalries. We got some divisionals, guys. We got the Steelers and the Ravens going at it. You got the Broncos and the Chiefs going at it. The Patriots and the Dolphins, round two. This time in Gillette. They're going at it. Early window. There's some big matchups. We got some really good ones. Saints and Eagles might an intriguing matchup. And then the late window, there's not really that many that stand out, but Niners and Raiders is one matchup that you got to talk about. There's a good divisional matchup between the Vikings and the Packers at Lambeau Field. Then you got a good Sunday night matchup between the Rams and the Chargers at SoFi. But Monday Night Football, January 2nd, you want to talk about a litmus test for the Buffalo Bills? It doesn't get any bigger than this one. Going to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati to go at it with the reigning, defending AFC champions, the Cincinnati Bengals, simulcast on ESPN and ABC. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Oh, Bullock, okay.
Yeah,
Week
and
17.
like you said, I mean, a lot of up, a lot of intriguing matchups here for week number 17. I mean, of course, the Cowboys and the Titans. What a way to end week number. I mean, to end the Thursday night schedule. Of course, you got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens, um, Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. And of course, the Broncos and the Chiefs is another intriguing one. The 49ers and the Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers, the LA Rams and the Chargers, and of course, the Bills and the Bengals on Monday Night Football. So, yeah, and there's nothing more to say except Florio, it is yours.
Week 17, Dallas and Tennessee. Battle of the two best running backs in the game, Ezekiel Elliott and Derrick Henry. Great matchup there. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, round two. Denver, Kansas City, round two at Arrowhead. Miami, New England, round two in the cold of Gillette. New Orleans and Philadelphia. Cleveland and Washington in the early window, and then in the late window, San Francisco and Vegas. And then you got Minnesota and Green Bay, a cross-flex game on CBS. Battle of LA could end up being our game, MF. We could invoke the cross-flex card here, the LA Rams and the LA Chargers, Battle of LA. But the game that's definitely standing out to me, and I know MF already mentioned it, the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati, simulcast on ESPN and ABC. The season finale of Monday Night Football. What a way for Buck and Aikman to close out their first year of Monday Night Football. So with that, we got 1 week left. And Michael Bullock, it's the dreaded divisional week. The final week of the season. Once again, all the matchups will be divisional matchups. Out of all the divisional matchups you see here, which ones stand out most to you?
Yeah, all the divisional matchups. I mean, the ones that stand out, obviously, the Cardinals and the 49ers is definitely one. Another intriguing matchup for me is the Browns and the Steelers. You got the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals is another. The New England Patriots against the Buffalo Bills. That's another one. The Chiefs against the Raiders is another. The Chargers against the Broncos. So yeah, that's basically all the intriguing divisional matchups for me for week number 18. So Florio, it's yours.
Yep, moments away from the Bruins beat, of course. So hang on, Bullock. let's see what we have here. For me, it starts with New England and Buffalo. Patriots Bills round 2 in Buffalo. And then you got Baltimore against Cincinnati. We've got Cleveland and Pittsburgh, Dallas and Washington, Chargers in Denver, Kansas City and Vegas, and Arizona and San Francisco. I'll even give you that. So those are my standout divisional games. MF, take the schedule release special home, and then we'll get ready for you and Bullock front and center for Bruin Beat.
Yeah, no, you guys pretty much alluded to it because every matchup in Week 18 is a divisional matchup. And as you know, all times are not posted. So because I think they kind of try to decipher once we get close enough to that time, because you want to get all the matchups right. You want to try to even it out. So if there's a divisional game that could decide the division on the line, you want to get those two teams playing identical, so there's no messing around. And then, of course, the wild cards would probably be up for grabs at that point. So you want to get all those wild card teams, bunch them together on both sides, on the divisional, on the AFC and NFC side. So see a lot of moving and wrangling, especially the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games. And then there's always that one game that's going to stick out that either is going to be for a division title or a wild card that could be up for grabs. That will be your Sunday nighter. So right now we got a lot to decipher, not a lot of time to work with. And we'll like we said, we'll get into that once we get there, and that will be determined, I want to say, next week. So with that said, we are indeed going to dive in, guys. Welcome into the Bruins Beat. Michael Bullock and myself will take it over right here, right now. And, guys, we're talking about game number 6 of the Eastern Conference first round matchup. And we are going to the limit. Game 7 will be coming very soon. The Boston Bruins forces the game 7, winning the game tonight 5-2 over the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina had a chance to slam the door on the series. Does not do it. We're going to the maximum. We're going 7. And the final game will be played on Saturday. So, starting it off, after no goals were scored in the first period, Brad Marchand got the first goal 46 seconds into the second period, assisted by Charlie Coyle and Connor Clifton. That gave the Bruins a 1-0 lead. Then Charlie Coyle gets a power play goal, his second of the postseason at 18:04. David Pastrnak and Brad Marchand getting the assist. Then in the third period, Carolina gets one back as Svechnikov getting the goal. Seth Jarvis with the assist at 3:24. That gives that cutted the lead in half to 2-1. But the Bruins explode, and it was your young players that took over. Eric Haula, 7:08 in the third. Charlie McAvoy with the assist. Then Derek Forbort getting the goal at 10:43, assisted by Thomas Nozak. And then Curtis Lazar with his first goal of the postseason. Nick Foligno and Thomas Nozak with the assist. That made it a 5-1 Boston. And then Svechnikov getting a late goal, a power play goal. Slavin and Nisi getting the assist, but it didn't really matter. The Boston Bruins dominated the game from beginning to end, out-hitting them, out-shooting them. Out-hitting, getting out-hit, but no problem there. Getting the big goals where they needed it to get. They were 1 for 3 on the power play. Of course, Carolina was 1 for 6 on the power play. 3 stars of the game, big Brad Marchand getting the number 1 star. Jeremy Swayman getting the number 2 star. Charlie Coyle, the number 3 star. But Michael Bullock, more importantly, the Boston Bruins list to fight one more time, do or die, Game 7. Going down the two greatest words in sports, and buddy, you're going to have to go through it.
Yes, they're going to have to go through it, especially in Carolina on Saturday. So, yeah, I mean, they needed to step up big time. I mean, after the way they played in game number 5 and game 6, they come back home and put up a 5 spot on the Carolina Hurricanes. And yeah, you had some of your usual stars step up, but yeah, some of the young guns really stepped up big time, and Swayman really played a really good game too. I mean, yes, he allowed a goal late, but like you said, the game had already been decided. So, I mean, yeah, I mean the Bruins, they had to win this one. They now force a game 7, and it's winner take all. The winner moves on to the next round. The loser is going home. So, I mean, this is where the Bruins really need to step up, because they haven't. I mean, all the games that the teams have won, they won on their home ice. Could this be the time where the Bruins finally end it and win on the road in Carolina? So we're gonna have to wait and find out. They have to keep this momentum going. They need to bring this effort in Carolina. So there's really nothing more for me to add to it. I cannot wait for this game 7 on Saturday. So I think there's really nothing more for me to add. So, Florio, I think we wrap this one up.
Great job as always, gentlemen. And that will indeed put the bow on this very special edition of TXN Sports World, our annual NFL schedule release special. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in, as always. Hope we whetted your appetites for the upcoming season. That's all I know. Now, MF, tomorrow night, AEW Rampage, as you know, will be starting early again. It'll be starting at 5:30, and then with SmackDown. And so, MF, will there be a Cerebral Smack Talk tomorrow night? MF? All right. All right. I was just wondering, is there going to be a Cerebral Smack Talk tomorrow night?
Yeah, there'll be a Cerebral Smack Talk. Yes.
All right. What time are we going to do it? Because as you know, AEW Rampage will be starting early at 5:30, and then SmackDown after that. So
yeah, we could do it right after SmackDown's off the air at 10, and then we'll go from there.
All right. So that's AEW Rampage, Friday Night SmackDown, and of course, don't forget, MF, we also have the Celtics chat and the Ranger Roundup.
Absolutely.
So we'll get into all that tomorrow. Now Saturday, I'm sure that's going to be you and Bullock with the Bruins beat, I'm sure.
Yep.
So that'll be on Saturday. So see about that. Now, as far as Sunday is concerned, it depends on the Celtics and the Rangers, of course. So we'll get back to you on that tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted.
And then Monday, of course, we got Ridiculously Raw. And then Wednesday Night Madness. This show next week could be looking at the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, perhaps. We'll probably get into that, and then we'll see if there's anything else to address, and then we'll take it from there. So that's it. So until 10 p.m. tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, hosted by good old MF Michael Fletcher over on his channel, Raceway 95. This is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, Michael Bullock. And, of course, the First Lady, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw the Fortune Force style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Friday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching the 2022 NFL Schedule Release Special. This special edition of TXN Sports World right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and StreamYard.com. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.